What is up, everybody? Solomon here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Wednesday. If you feel like liking and subscribing to this content, feel free to do so. I certainly appreciate the support. This is the first video that I've probably done in about 2.5, 3 weeks. Looking to potentially get a little bit more back into this as well. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible, but I've got a lot to go over because I've been away for a little while. First and foremost, if you see any scam ads on this content, please do not participate in those. So we had a big announcement today. This is from Sologenic. The wait is over. The Sologenic DEX, which stands for, if you're not aware, Decentralized Exchange, is now live. Now, this is built on top of the XRP ledger. So there's a lot of value inherently, obviously, on the network with, the XRPL. So trade any fraction of upcoming tokenized assets, Solo and XRP. Now, Solo, if you're not aware, Sologenic, they have their own token as well. I'm sure that there is some sort of utility on that platform. I haven't delved deep enough into it to be able to present that to you, but they certainly have a token. This thing has ran up pretty substantially. I think it's about 2.5x just since the first of the year. If you would have gotten into this back last year, you probably made out pretty well here. It's almost 10x. So, pay attention to that. But I wanted to present this to you guys because this is where all of this goes. They're essentially going to be tokenized stocks that you're going to be able to trade. Everybody's going to have access to them. And, I'll play this video for you guys real quick, and then we'll kind of move on through the video here. If you guys enjoy the content.
Securely trade cryptocurrencies, including XRP, Solo, and Sologenic's upcoming tokenized assets, such as stocks, ETFs, and commodities, from top global exchanges 24/7 with the Sologenic DEX. The DEX offers complete self-custody of digital assets through your preferred wallets, allowing you to safely and securely manage your assets on the XRP Ledger blockchain. Facilitating swift transactions and quick settlements, you can trade anytime, anywhere, with no delays. Our dynamic and fully customizable trading terminal is built to align with your personal inclinations to ensure a seamless trading experience. The Sologenic DEX trading platform offers live updates, allowing you to trade quickly and efficiently. Built by experienced traders for traders. Start trading now on the Sologenic DEX. Go to www.sologenic.org.
So that's awesome. I mean, what I will say is that I think a lot of people are trying to get into DeFi, but the fees are almost at an unsustainable level. And the majority of things are moving through Ethereum right now, not necessarily because Ethereum has the best utility, but Ethereum has the most liquidity, and it has the network effect right now where, basically, if a project launches on Ethereum, you've got all of that liquidity that could potentially move into that project, or some of that liquidity from that is on the Ethereum network already will potentially want to move into that project. What I have seen is that you've got these other projects that are trying to remove the fees that Ethereum inherently comes with as far as gas is concerned. But there's so much little intricate stuff that you have to learn how to do just to be able to participate. Like I know Polygon, which used to be Matic, is doing that. There's some other ones as well. I know Avalanche is doing something similar. So I'm curious to see how these XRPL ones run, these decentralized exchanges, because it's much cheaper if they figure out a way that is almost as easy. And I don't like to use Coinbase as an example, but to use something like Coinbase on a decentralized exchange from a decentralized exchange standpoint, it's going to be a game changer in my opinion. So we'll just leave that at that. If you want to read this actual full announcement here, you certainly can. I will post this link down in the description section of this video here. But the big thing to realize here is that everything becomes tokenized. We're not going to get there in this bull run, in my opinion, because I don't believe that we're in a utility-based bull run, but we are in an idea-based bull run still, where you're seeing these certain initiatives come about where they're talking about, NFTs. A lot of people think NFTs are literally just digital artwork, or I saw some tennis player literally today, sold off a piece of her arm or whatever as an NFT. That's nonsense. It adds to hype, but what NFTs inherently are these unique things that exist on the blockchain. Like my house is unique. Your house is unique. There is not another house in the world, if you include everything that we've done to our house, modified our own houses, etc. I'm talking in real life. That is exactly the same as yours. And real estate gets tokenized, make no mistake about it. And real estate, when it does get tokenized, they're going to be quote unquote NFTs. So there's obviously other use cases out there as well, but this is just the beginning. Like, you start to see these like crazy use cases come out, as far as just like, we see it as art. We're underestimating, overestimating what it's going to potentially do in the short term by we're looking at these like art pictures and stuff that people were buying for like multiple thousands of dollars, but we're underestimating, the big picture type stuff as far as tokenized real estate, fractional tokenized portions of artwork, like real artwork, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see where all this goes. But now I did see that Ripple, and this is Brad Garlinghouse, if you're not aware, he's a CEO of Ripple. They essentially acquired a 40% stake in Tranglo. Now, I'm not going to dive deep into Tranglo here, but I did see this a couple of weeks ago from Flutterwave, and this kind of just led me down like this Africa path again, because we've seen it over and over again, and I'm going to present a little bit of a timeline real quick here. So Flutterwave teams up with PayPal on African payments. This is March 16th, 2021. So Flutterwave and PayPal, right? Now we have January 21st, 2020. WorldPay, which is obviously RippleNet, and Visa back African payments from Flutterwave. Now we have July 29, 2019. Flutterwave and Alipay partner on payments between Africa and China. While we see in 2018, Flutterwave essentially built Ripple into the core infrastructure for African payments. So, we have Flutterwave making all of these moves with PayPal, Visa, WorldPay, Alipay. I think there's a couple that I'm forgetting in there. I just like to tie it back in. This is their Rave platform, and essentially Interledger and Ripple, at the point in time where Ripple was at its Xcurrent, is built directly into Flutterwave. We know at this point with ODL that Xcurrent can potentially support XRP. I'm not going to sit here and say that all of these are tied in, but I actually got a little bit of a tap on the wrist from Flutterwave back in, I think, 2019 for assuming that Alipay could potentially utilize XRP if they wanted to. So I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Last but not least, well, actually, this is second to last but not least, since I haven't been here for a while. A lot of people have been asking about, Hedera Hashgraph, et cetera, et cetera. If you're not aware, this is Project New Dawn. Project New Dawn is essentially an initiative between MTech, Microsoft, and Hashgraph, and they're working with central banks, et cetera, et cetera. It gets really kind of crazy here, but this is MTech. This is, we have a crazy idea. Instead of printing cash, we could digitize it and send it directly to people in minutes. Fast, secure, low-cost, interoperable. Introducing a modern cash infrastructure, and then it's hashtag central bank digital currency for inclusion. Over 60 million people in the United States either don't have or find it too expensive to use a bank account. Okay, so what I want to say about this is, because we're seeing all these initiatives roll out right now, as far as, these additional stimulus checks and the child tax credit, which essentially went from $1,200, I think it was, to like $4K. And they're talking about monthly payments, which sounds a lot to me like, UBI. You can look up what UBI is if you want to, but this, and I believe what Hedera and what Hedera Hashgraph are trying to do, they're legitimately going to change the world. They're tied in with some of these organizations that are certainly, it's already, the book's already been written. We just all haven't had a chance to read it yet. These bigger companies have. So I'm trying to follow what these bigger companies are doing, and just having faith, knowing that it may turn out to be a financial gain on my end. That being said, it is a bit worrisome for me. Talking about banking the unbanked is fantastic, but when you really try to sit back and think about banking the unbanked from a global standpoint, you're talking about tying everybody into the same system. And that's all fine and well, because then you're going to present additional opportunities for these people that didn't originally have them. But you also have to think, what is the one thing that cash has over anything else besides literally everything that we use? I could still go take out $100 from the ATM and nobody would know what I would do with that $100. Not saying that I would do anything illicit or bad, but once you tie everybody into the same system and everything's digital, even though they're going to tell you that they can't track it, they certainly will be able to. But yeah, I mean, Hashgraph's a giant, in my opinion. MTech, they're working with central banks right now. You can look at their products. This is on MTech's, just their straight up website. Project New Dawn is their initiative with Hedera Hashgraph. We can see their current engagements and models. This is with the U.S. Federal Reserve. The proof of concept scope is digital cash infrastructure, which is Project New Dawn. Now, we just saw Project New Dawn. Here's the advisors. And we go with the collaborative efforts with Project New Dawn. And it is legitimately MTech, Microsoft, and Hedera Hashgraph. They've also, there's things in documents that I've seen about UBI and Universal Basic Income that are potentially going to be rolled out. This is with the Fed, digital dollar push, a base cash wallet for anyone who wants it, debt neutral economic stimulus schemes. So they're obviously, Project New Dawn is directly tied in with Hedera Hashgraph, directly tied in with the Fed. It's right there in black and white. You don't have to even argue it because there's nothing to argue. Central Bank of the Bahamas, they're working with. Omni Financial, and I also did a little bit of digging last week. I didn't present it on Twitter or Patreon, but MTech is also working with the government of Ghana, I believe, working on a CBDC. Maybe that may be new information. I'm not going to present that right now. You can do your own research. You can literally look up MTech and Ghana, I believe. So, all right, now this is last but not least. A lot of people are asking me what I'm potentially doing during this bull run and when I'm going to be potentially looking to cash out. I wanted to give a huge shout out right now. I am not affiliated with Crypto Crew University. I'm not affiliated with Blockchain Backer at all either. These are the two individuals for the most part that I've legitimately been watching on a consistent basis. There's one other individual, I think it's Ben something in here that, yeah, you can see Ben's honest prediction for 2021. I watched this guy too. Ben is much more of a bull, like as far as like a long-term bull, like where he thinks his bull run's essentially going to last, for a much longer time than I believe. But Crypto Crew University, pulled up this tool, and this is Steve from Crypto Crew University. This is lookintobitcoin.com. I'm just pretty much mainly watching Bitcoin for indicators at this point because I still believe that we're not in a utility bull run. When I see something like Pasta Coin or Spaghetti Coin or Tendies, even though it was a glitch, go up multiple hundreds of percent. And I mean multiple, like 50, 60x. I don't think that we're in a utility bull run. This is a really interesting website, though. You can look at multiple different things here, and I'll go over this real quick. And this wouldn't even be something that I would just use for the bull run. This would essentially be something that I would be using during the bear market, too, to gauge in good buys. So we can see this takes us back to 2017. We can see, the February 2019-ish dip. We can see obviously when the beer cold thing happened, it happened in March, which was probably one of the best buying opportunities that anybody will ever have. And we can see where we're at right now. This is the 2-year moving average multiplier, which is essentially this tool that has been used to track bull markets for Bitcoin in the past. Like if you take this, for example, this is the 16th of December, 2017. We obviously tracked above this upper trend line here. And once we went above this upper trend line, we pretty much went parabolic, right? The 16th of December, 2017 was the peak of Bitcoin. We do know that altcoins, like XRP's all-time high, I believe was like the 5th or the 6th of January, 2018. Why do you think that is? Well, it's because a lot of people are, once Bitcoin corrects and it's had its blow off top, they're not going to think that the bull run is over. They're going to think that Bitcoin is going to consolidate and go much higher. We have not tracked above this upper trend line in this bull market yet. You can see here similar to what we did in 2017, where we touched it, and we retraced and had a correction. We touched it, and we broke above and we went parabolic, right? 2013 was a little bit different. We kind of just touched it once, had a quick retrace, and went parabolic. This time is, if you're just looking at this indicator, touched it, correction, touched it, correction, touched it, correction. We're close, in my opinion, to breaking above this trend line. And I believe that once we do, based on these previous metrics, that we're going to go parabolic across the board. A really good one to look at, and these are all really simple, which is what I like, is this golden ratio multiplier. And you can pull these up on something like TradingView as well, and you can pull these things up and maybe kind of tweak it for yourself a little bit more. Right now, this is the pi cycle. The only problem that I have with the pi cycle, it's called previous tops, but it was actually pretty much designed, and I don't want to, invented may be a bad word, but after all of the previous bull runs, so there's not a whole lot of data points. But if you look at the golden ratio multiplier. We've obviously got our dash trend line up top, you know, but this is more so what I would potentially be using to gauge buys in like a bear market. It's very easy to read. You can see when we dip below this bottom line here, it's essentially one of the best times to potentially buy into something. And this isn't even just Bitcoin. This is buying in across the board. You have to understand all of these, you know, all of these trend lines and everything else are consistently rising. So even though Bitcoin and altcoins, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, even though they're going to go into another bear market, I believe that the floor is going to be higher. So I personally don't think that we see a Bitcoin price that is, you know, much lower than like 19K. I think that it's probably higher during the next low, maybe 24, 25, 26, maybe 30K. I have no idea. Maybe we do dip below, but I also believe that the floor is consistently rising as well. So I'm watching Bitcoin. I'm trying to invest in altcoins to the best of my ability at this point, but everything that you do in this market, essentially you're trading risk. If you're trading just in Bitcoin and Ethereum, your risk level is much lower. When you start delving out into some of these altcoins, the risk gets astronomically higher. I have no Bitcoin and I only use Ethereum to trade. But my long-term bags, like things like Hedera Hashgraph, things like Quant, none of this is financial advice. Things like Algorand, things like XRP, you know, and the ones that I missed, because I get asked all the time, what about Dent? What about Pack? What about, and I had, I'm going to forget what it's called right now. I had Holo like 2 years ago and I sold. I shouldn't have sold. If I miss something, I'm not buying in during some sort of a crazy move up, because every single asset, for the most part, is going to pretty much go parabolic. If you miss something, in my opinion, you're better off just not trying to chase a pump and waiting for the bear market and having some sort of a position rather in a yield earning type stable coin during a bear market, where whenever we potentially bought them, you can go in heavy into those ones that you missed. So as long as these projects are still developing, et cetera, there is no way that every person in this space catches everything. All we can do is try the best that we possibly can with the capital that we have, you know, and to plan accordingly, because some of you, and I hope that a lot of you, have made enough money where you're starting to get to the point where you're a little bit nervous about losing it. That's a normal feeling. I feel the same exact way. I am not rich by any means. I, at this point, would potentially, if I cashed out, be close to the portion where I'd be like able to like maybe pay off like my mortgage, things like that. I'm trying to set small goals in this market. You may have different goals. You may have larger goals. You may think that $100 is going to turn into $100,000, and you may be right if you luck out. I am trying to take it from more of a hedged position and just looking where I'm at and making sure that I'm staying on top of, in my opinion, what's the most important thing right now, which is what Bitcoin's doing, and essentially what these altcoins are doing as well. Blockchain Backer, I know, is talking about the double tap on the altcoin all-time high. Certainly agree with him that altcoins are going to run. And I also agree that it's not a great idea to sit there and chase things after they've already went up 20 or 30x. There's going to be ones that haven't done that yet that do the same exact thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if I was dragging on a little bit. I haven't made a video probably in like 3 weeks. I'll post this lookintobitcoin.com for you guys and some of these other links down in the description of this video. And again, I'm glad to be back. If you like the content, feel free to like and subscribe. If not, fantastic as well. I appreciate all you guys, and I hope you guys all do fantastic in this market. So I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.